Right, welcome back. Another day. Another day working on this. This is my 190 project, which I've been fitting stuff to. You can see the subframes in, pulley bushes, rear shocks. So on the list for today is getting the springs in, and I also bought some new bolts for the lower control arms. So here are all the parts from Mercedes, and there's the lower control arm bolts and nuts and washers. Do you want to take a guess how much that was? Well, I'm going to tell you. It was the best part of £60 with some Mercedes Club membership discount. The spring pads were actually quite cheap. I think they're only about £15 to £20. And the rest is all just for those few bolts. Anyway, what else is on the list? Got to bleed the brakes, and then have to fit the suspension on the front. So I've got this here. I've got spring compressors, proper ones for Mercedes. I also need to adjust the handbrake. Last time I put the shoes in, and I'll show you guys how to do that. The cables are all hooked up. And the other thing is just sorting this tyre out. And maybe do some stuff on the interior. No, I haven't unlocked this yet. But you can see the inside's a complete mess. The wiring needs to go back to where it should be. Hopefully I can remember where it goes. And that. Oh, and hopefully fit the seat and steering wheel and gear knob, so it at least has something. And that should be it for today. Hopefully I can put the car back down. So first I'm just going to swap these lower control arm bolts around. I put something in temporary, and then I'll show you guys how to adjust the handbrake cable. Next job on the list is bleeding the brakes, and since no one's around, I'm going to try the gravity bleeding method. I don't know exactly what it's called, something like that. I've got the bleed nipple open. I've got this container for brake fluid, and I'm just going to go pump the brake. Oh, before I do that I better open and make sure you have enough fluid in there as well. So you can see there it's already going down to minimum. So I'll top that up, pump the brake, and then come back to it. Hopefully it will have bled. I've got this AP Racing DOT 5.1 fluid, which I used last time. It's got a higher boiling point if I remember right, so it should be good for track work. So I've just pumped the brake. You can see a load of bubbles flowing through, and that's starting to fill up. Once those bubbles stop, I'll tighten the nipple back up. Right, I'm just in the parking brake. So I'm just going to get this up to position where it should be, where I'd probably want it tight. That should be about right there. And then I'm just going to look at the cable adjustment rather than the one in the drums. You can see the wheels still move. You want to tighten that up until it starts to grip. As the brake shoes are new, I'm going to leave the adjuster in the middle of the drum behind the disc on the smallest setting, since the brake shoes are completely new. Right, next job, get under the car. Very important. get some eye protection, because you will get some rust in your eye. And once you get rust in your eye, it goes into your bloodstream, and then you have a whole host of problems, such as liking rusty pieces of crap like this, and then it's just a vicious cycle. The cable adjustment is just there. I need to tighten up and then keep checking whether it's right. I've tightened it up, and as you can see, the wheel doesn't really move anymore when the handbrake's up. And just check with the handbrake down as well, make sure the wheels still move. There you go, sorted. I think that's just against the brake pads or something. That's it for the rear end for now. I've temporarily tied those suspension canisters with tie clips there. I need to think of a better solution though. On my old one, I think I attached them to the plastic covers for the lower control arms, which I'll have a look at. But this car is now ready to touch the floor again. I can show you some nice reverse rake before I start working on the front end. Right, time to get the front jacked up to get the suspension on. There it is. Gotta get that unboxed. This jacked up. Spring compressors are here. So these are the ones specifically designed for Mercedes springs. See, the plates are different sizes, and then this goes through the center and you compress it. Hopefully this makes it easier. Suspension is all out. I'm just going to paint some bits while I've got access. New suspension's all ready to go in. There's the springs and spring patches, and the shocks are in the other box, which I'll unbox in a second. There's the old suspension. This spring compressor was a bit fiddly, making sure that these teeth lined up. I had to have a few goes. Already failed on the video where it kind of got stuck because I hadn't compressed the center of the spring. I was trying to compress as much of it as possible from the bottom of the coil, but with the bottom of the coil this bit ended up still sticking out, so you've got to compress the center of the spring for that to work. Got the arch painted up. I just need to get the shock in. The springs are already there, and then just bolt this anti-roll bar back up, which made it easy to take the springs out and slide new ones in as well. And then I'll have a look at least getting these wires to the rear lights so it can pass its MOT. I probably won't just tidy them away just yet because I want to paint this, tidy that up, so it means I'd have to take them back out. So here I've got seat bases, sliding rails, which will mean I can get the seats bolted in as well, or seat at least. Oh, and I'll fit the gear knob and the steering wheel too. Front suspension's in, all bolted up. As mentioned, I've not really set anything up. I'll need to take all this apart anyway to do the bushes down there. At the moment, just trying to get it as roadworthy as possible to pass an MOT so I can drive it back home. So both sides all done, pretty much ready to drop really. I just got to tighten up these anti-roll bar brackets, and that's it for now. As mentioned, I've got a different anti-roll bar as well, which I'll be sticking on in a different video. I'll put the car back down to the ground. I have no idea what sort of height it's going to end up at, and then I can stick some of the interior in and just tidy up those cables, make sure they're going to the right places. Bumper's kind of on. I need to just find the bolts that would hold it up there. I don't know where the hell I've put them. Again, probably not very aligned, but that doesn't matter at the moment. I don't think we're far off being able to try start it again. I've brought a spare battery with me this time. Hopefully there's still some life in it. Right, let's get the car back on the ground, see what it looks like. Well, it's down on the ground. I don't know how much lower it actually is. I've still got some wood under the tyre just to make sure I could get the jack out. This doesn't, I don't know, maybe once I stick the arch trim on it'll look a bit lower. Like I said, I'll adjust it all later, measure it up and do all the suspension adjustments that are needed. Okay, let's try starting it up. I wonder if this thing's even going to start. I think the last time I started it was November, October maybe? No, it was close to starting up last time. Let's see what it does. Yeah. Oh, that sounds better. I can hear the fuel pump. Let's pump that a few times. And it's starting. Couple of lights on, nothing, I mean washer fluid and coolant, so get those fixed. Next thing, let's get this interior in. Finally time to stick an interior in, or lack of an interior, I think, really. So steering wheel, gear knob, and at least the driver's seat. And let me show you guys finally what I've got to go in. So, gear gator, gear knob, anodized aluminium in the dogleg pattern, steering wheel boss. Those are just the bolts for the seats. Pizza box from Momo. This is a Momo Prototipo. Had one of these before. Awesome steering wheel. And finally, a Cobra RSR, which I'll pull out in a second. Most of what I wanted to get done is done. The seat is in. I've just covered it in the plastic it came with for now. Don't want it getting ruined at the moment. I mean, look at all that crap down there. Steering wheel in, gear knob in, and a whole load of crap in. And I think that's it. It still starts. I'll check a few of the other things needed for an MOT, but looks good so far. So that's been my rush to get the 190E ready and at least drivable for now. There's still plenty of things to get done. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching, and until next time.